Hello everyone, and once again welcome back to Vyapaar Jagat TV, and thank you so much for keep watching all the sessions. We are having the Vyapaar Jagat growth talk, and this is the third day, and now we are reaching to the about the end of event, and we are having the last session. Again, it is a keynote session by Raj Kapoor. So let me briefly introduce Raj, and then I will hand over to Raj, and Raj is going to is going to talk a lot about the trends driving startup funding in 2023. So Raj is the founder of India Blockchain Alliance, the largest Indian emerging technology think tank, and the advisory board member at over 40 blockchain companies, including Floyx, Spherium, XxTripz. He is a global blockchain and cryptocurrency and FinTech educator, certified Bitcoin professional, that is called CBP, blockchain solutions architect, and a friend of disruptive ideas, protem chairman for organization of blockchain technology users, that is OBTU. He is also the Asia lead technology and innovation at Blockspace Technologies Ltd. Raj has helped organize India's biggest blockchain and cryptocurrency events across major cities. Raj has also spoken at several international seminars and conferences in Boston, LA, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Singapore, Durban, Nicosia, Nicosia and Vienna, Dubai and Singapore. Raj regularly speak in tech events in India, UK, USA, Africa, Malaysia and Canada. And he is also a twice TEDx speaker. Besides blockchain, Raj is skilled in AI, robotics, cybersecurity, IoT and cloud computing. He has spoken in over 140 international and national events. What a great introduction, Raj. Thank you so much for joining, and we are looking forward to have the trends driving startup funding in 2023. Thank you so much for joining, and it's over to you, Raj.
Thanks, Praveen. Let's just add a few more things to what you said. I really
Please.
appreciate the wonderful, introduction you've given. By this year, we've had a great start, and that 40 odd companies now has become 50 plus companies where I'm advising now. So that's a great thing. And you know why? Because as the topic says, understanding the trends of what's happening. We understand the trends as an organization, yes, but as an individual, I've been in this space for a very long time. I've been advising lots of young startups. And last year, we all our young listeners and young founders and should be very excited that even though there was a recession, there was a market crash in the blockchain space, Bitcoin space, it didn't really affect anything. Why? Because we followed the right trends. Last year itself, you'll be happy to know 13 of the companies which I've been advising got funding. And one of them has become India's 106th unicorn. And that is saying something in a space where people are saying India doesn't produce great companies. Well, we did that. Unfortunately, the company is not based in India, but it's an Indian, all Indians in that company. And out of the 13 companies which got funded, 3 of them are soonicorns, soon to become unicorns.
Unicorn, yeah.
So what was the secret sauce? It's not me. It's the whole thing of understanding the ecosystem around us. And I'm going to show you a small little presentation, and I'm going to give you some words of advice. Advice that'll help you kickstart your startups, advice that'll help you fund your startups, advice that'll make them sustainable. That's the most important, sustenance. So with your permission, Praveen, a very quick presentation.
Absolutely, then all yours. Please go ahead.
All right, I'm going to share my screen right away, and I have this presentation. My presentation says the trends driving startup funding in 2023. Before I get into any trend, I want to give a little bit of the background. Little bit. Let's have a look at the global industry of startups. the top 10 countries, we can see India right here. And we can see the global industries, lots of them, but everything, if you see, has got tech in it. Ad tech, ed tech, clean tech, robotics, cybersecurity, ag tech, blockchain, life sciences, healthcare. Now it's become health tech, fintech. What is the trend? It's very simple. It's self-explanatory. It's technology that's driving the new wave of startups in the last few years. And from post-COVID, it's by default the space where all of us need to be. Technology for tomorrow. That's what my advice is. So all startups, when you're looking at it, while there are great startups in other spaces, the startups in these spaces, all these here, are the ones getting funding. Let's first focus there. India itself has had a great run. We've become the third largest ecosystem in the world in terms of unicorns and total number of startups. And I'm glad I've managed to contribute somewhere there as well. It's also got the second highest number of internet users in the world, which is great. And now with 5G coming in, things are going to explode with connectivity getting better. And as I think the previous session was all about connecting live, offline, online, etc. That's going to be a thing of the past. It's all going to be a beautiful heterogeneous mix of all sorts of models there. We've got 61% internet penetration. That's a lot for a country which is 1.4 billion strong. Well, 131 billion of venture capital since 2014 in the last 8 years. That is not a small amount. That's not a sneezing amount. In fact, it is larger than the economies of a lot of countries. Also, if you look at the combined valuation of Indian startup is 450 billion. Even the jobs creation is 7.7 lakhs. And as I said, this is now 106 tech unicorns. Let's say 106 was added a few months back. Great news for India, but caution as well. If you look at this, these are the number of investors which have come in the last year. We've had more than about 2,000 investors in the first year, and it's going to cross. By the end of the year, we'll get the figures next year, in the next month or so, but we cross 3,000, 3,500 investors. Unique investors means new investors coming into our Indian ecosystem. But sad to say, a lot of startups fail. Why am I mentioning this? So that I can tell you what to watch out for the trends. But to know the trends, you must know the past. You must know the failures. You must know failures to know success. So 9 out of 10 startups don't make it, guys. Very sorry, but 9 out of 10 shut down. That's a very sad number. 20% startups fall after the first year. Very sad, because when you've crossed the first year, you're all gung-ho and saying, wow, we've been out of the woods. We've made it. We are one of those which made it. But then second year goes down. 30% of them close within 2 years. Even sadder, because you worked hard, you invested your time, effort, resources, money, everything, and then in 2 years, kaput, is gone, but finished. 50% shut their doors within 5 years, 70% in 10 years, and only 40% become profitable. Not so good, the statistics. We all want to become profitable. The idea of a startup and the funds which go into it is to make them profitable. Here is some numbers which don't look so good, but don't be sad. Don't be disappointed. That's just numbers. These are statistics. Statistics just teach us what we can do in the future. Let's see what we can do. And my last one, only 1 in every 100 startups that have raised money were able to reach a valuation of $1 billion. But remember, there was one which did it. You remember the one. Don't look at the other 99. Try and focus on that one. They say, no, Arjun focused on the eye of the fish. That's exactly what your focus should be. One, not the 99 which failed. Success is what you should see. But 99 failures, learn from them. They are also a learning for us. Why do they fail? There are lots of reasons. The three main people which I was asking a lot of people, and they said lack of ability to offer a product for the target market. You know, a lot of us think that our idea is the best idea in the world. Wow, what a crazy, wonderful startup idea. Really? How many ideas have come up which are better than sliced bread? Sliced bread was one of the greatest inventions of mankind. We haven't come up with anything much better than that. Why? We don't think too much. We feel, all right, we'll copy different types of bread: brown bread, wheat bread, whole wheat bread, barley bread, bran bread, all sorts of things. But nothing is still better than sliced bread. We shift our focus. That's one of the reasons. The lack of ability to offer a product for a target market. We want to target everybody. My product is good for everyone. Seriously? It's not. We'll come more to that in some other time, but that's my advice to you. Focus on a niche product for a niche market. Second, many companies aren't able to generate interest in their products or services. Very poor marketing, exceptionally poor marketing with most startups. Now the trend is not generic marketing, it is targeted marketing. That brings about another trend of the year. The future is not going to be about putting everything on Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, all sorts of social media. It's no use. It's a waste of marketing dollars. It's a waste. Focus, target, niche. I can give you a separate session on this completely and derive an ROI from that. Unfortunately, most of us get carried away. We put all the funds in marketing. We don't even know our real target audience most of the time. We aren't able to generate enough interest. As a result, we fail. Third one, some companies also struggle with marketing to the extent that they don't even know how to do. But there are some bigger reasons. Have a look at my left side. 90% of startups fail within the 10 years. Here are some reasons why. Look at that. I won't read them out, but you can see some of the highlights. No market. Everybody thinks my product is best, but it may not have a market, not at that particular time. Maybe it's too early or it's too late. Second, they run out of cash. I've seen a lot of young startups, when they get a little funding, a seed funding, angel funding, the first thing they buy themselves is fancy cars, fancy bikes, a couple of holidays. They sponsor some events, etc., burn their money within months. The burn is forever. It's not just months. Third, not the right team. Very big problem. You don't always have to be friends in your team. You need to have the right team. They don't have to be only friends and family. That's a little bit of you need to draw the line, which ones you're going to choose. Next, competition. You haven't factored in the competition. Cost, pricing issues, poor product, business model, poor marketing, ignoring the customer, then focusing on yourself. Oh, there are so many of them. I would like you to read this if you can. Share the presentation later on. The greatest challenges when you found competition, cash flows, taxes, economy, growth, all the others. Doesn't matter. Why am I focusing on the failures? So that I can show you the path to success. Because after failure comes success. Dar ke aage jeet hai. So what are the trends now? Let's very quickly have a look at the trends. The IT talent shortage is going to accelerate. So if you're going to be in the IT space, especially in the blockchain, fintech, AI, health tech, insurtech, regtech, all these spaces have a huge shortage of people. So what is the trend? The trend is you upskill yourself. I'm giving you the trends and the solutions to it, and the problems, challenges, trends, and solutions. So you get yourself upskilled. Now, do you know something? I am an expert in the blockchain space, 12 years in this space. I don't come from a technology background. I learned technology after I met blockchain. Today, I can program in 18 languages. I've created 4 blockchains. Ethereum Lite is created by us. Lots of things. But bottom line, I didn't know it first. In 1982, when I passed out, there were hardly any computers. So look at that. The IT talent shortage will accelerate. You have to upskill yourself. You have to know a lot of skills, not all of them, a lot of them, and so does your team. So that if there is an IT challenge, you are up to it. You put your hand up and says, all right, doesn't matter, I'll do it. And don't be scared of doing it. Don't be scared, oh, I'm the founder, I'm not going to do it. Guys, if you are not going to do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. So identify the IT challenges and try and upskill yourself in that space. The trend of the future is going to be skilled founders, skilled entrepreneurs, and a skilled team. So identify and take cognizance of that. Second, most startups don't focus on security at the onset. Most startups think, oh, my systems are secure, my systems are very robust. That's the biggest problem, especially in the blockchain space, in the Web3 space where I come from. I've seen most of them fail security audits. So when you're making a product, get your auditing done time to time, penetration testing done time to time, testing done all the time. Test, test, test. Do not ignore it. We know it's a little expensive, but that's the bigger problem is if you don't test, you will fail. Third, health tech, security tech, fintech will buck the trend. Now, in spite of all markets may go into recession, people are saying there's a war going on, there's a recession in the US, there's a recession in Europe. India is a little insulated, but these technologies, health, security, fintech will never go down in the next few years. So if you are an entrepreneur, start focusing solutions in this space. Product will rule. As I told you, your product is going to be everything. You have to create real world solutions for real world scenarios. You can't be in your own space and say, oh, it's in your space, it's a great idea, but it should actually be a great idea. I'll give you an example. A 19-year-old guy right now created one of the best alternatives to the OTP problem. OTPs come on your phone. If your phone can read it, frankly speaking, everybody can read it. If I have a cloning software, it's easy for anybody to read the OTP. The OTP is the most unsecure solution which the banks have given us. But we are we are happy, everything is fine, we are safe. It's not. But that's a story for another day. Your product will rule. India will be the focus. India is already the third biggest startup ecosystem. I see it becoming second and first in the next few years. Then, I also see a boost in female-led startup funding. I'm personally working on 9 startups which are female-owned and led, female founders. Alta Vista, I'm working on a company called Alta Vista. I'm working on a VIT. I'm working on a company it's called MetaBank. All these are female-led. All of them, you'll be happy to know, have got funding. Out of 9 companies which are female-led, 6 have got funding, 3 are in the pipeline. That's a story to remember. Try and get yourself a female founder. She will be a real asset. Asset tokenization. Now, this is, of course, more in the space of blockchain, should I say, but now all assets are going to get tokenized. So if you're going to look at solutions, today you have gold, which is tokenized, you have real estate properties, which are always tokenized. Start thinking, what can be tokenized? Because tokenization has become a new trend in raising money. Much easier than running after VCs and angel funds and banks, etc. Tokenization. Either tokenize your IP, tokenize your company, tokenize your value assets. Anything can be tokenized. Again, I can give a separate session on this. This is the future, asset tokenization. And the future of startup finance is digital. We all know that. In the future, the traditional VCs, the traditional angels are not going to be there. There's going to be many, many, many more options. For example, there are funders which fund in tokens. That's in the blockchain space. And that will now soon come into the complete ecosystem over the next few years. So start understanding the trends of where finance is going. So let's skip that one. If you look at the year-end review, UPI transactions, massive, the biggest ever year for UPI, 126 lakh crore. Your product, why have I taken UPI as an example? Because most of us focus on products, but we won't focus on infrastructure. UPI is like an infrastructure. You can't make a payment without UPI. So ask yourself this question, is my product the next UPI? May not be for the financial system, could be for other industries. That would be a success story, my friends. I personally focus on companies that are focused on strengthening infrastructure because you need that. Everybody needs UPI. You can't do without it. Phone Pay, WhatsApp Pay, whatever you want, Google Pay, everything uses UPI. UPI stays quietly. All the big boys make the noise. UPI does work silently because it is part of infrastructure. Focus this year onwards on infrastructure products. That's where a lot of money comes. Then it's also going to be, last year was a year of early stage funding. Seed funding trends are going to go up and up and up this year, provided you focus on the following: infrastructure, security, and real world use cases. These are the three major things going to come up in the next few months. And the year onwards, infrastructure, security, real world products are going to rule the roost. And the real world means for the real world, not what the world which exists in our heads. Get out of that, guys. Move into the real world. Also, it's been a milestone year for India at EV. Now, EV is becoming big because people are climate conscious, people are environment conscious. So if your products are going to be environment conscious, whether it is for EVs or for anything which gives you clean tech, green tech, that's where your focus is going to be. The next few years, in fact, are going to be all about clean and green technologies because the world's environment is deteriorating. And we need solutions actually mitigate those. And that's, I think, is going to be the next major trend, 2023. Before concluding, I'd like to have 10 startup tips for startup success. As I said, I'll repeat, I'm basically encapsulating all what I said in the last 15, 20 minutes. Identify your niche. Is it going to be security? Is it going to be infrastructure? Is it going to be environment? You know, these three are going to rule. You may have heard corporates are all aligning themselves to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. That's everything what I told you comes right inside there. Your products should also focus on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainability is the key word and the key mantra for 2023. Second, select a social media platform. I disagree with a lot of people who say you use all social media. I say it's bullshit. Focus on what you think. If your product is worth mentioning on LinkedIn, don't dilute it by putting it on Facebook and Insta and Twitter. I mean, Twitter is okay, it's a communication, but still, sometimes Insta and Facebook are not the right platforms. They're great platforms, but not the right platform for your product. And sometimes, if your product is more for the masses, put it on Facebook, put it on Insta. B2B should be focused on LinkedIn. B2C goes on to that. There is a mix, obviously, but recognize the primary social media platform. So that's where everything is. All the advertising is on social media. Nobody reads newspapers anymore. Ads, forget, they read and forget. This remains forever. Third, whatever product you're creating, create some really kick-ass educational and entertainment content. So people start getting engaged with your content. They don't want to see a product, your product basic video. They want to see something around that. How your product is solving problems. How is the product going to act in the future? Is it solving a problem? Is it SDG compatible? Is it ESG compatible? You got to see all that. Fourth, that's an old one, but this year onwards, and especially post-COVID now, when we could not really mix around, I say participate physically in specific industry events. While virtually is great, physically it's fantastic. I've been in this year, today we are already on the 7th or 8th. I've spoken in 7 events this year, all physical. Great stuff. I'm happy today is Sunday that I can have a nice virtual event with you guys. That's also very important. And in today's world, it's become one of the norms. But try and participate as many physical events as possible, at least in the area where you stay. 5, collaborate with other industry thought leaders. And I think one of the things Praveen is doing is creating a lovely platform. Personally, as I said, I mentor more than 50, 60 companies. I'm also mentoring a couple of governments and the government incubation cells. I'm also mentoring about maybe 10 or 12 accelerators across the globe. Mentoring is important. Startups and startup founders are generally young. They can benefit from mentor experience, collaborate, and even mentors benefit from young ideas. So it's a beautiful combination. Fine. 6th point, concentrate on the product. Don't focus on yourself. Don't try and brand yourself all the time. Focus on the product. Your branding will automatically come. Concentrate on the product. 7th, accept transparency. When I say accept transparency, you don't give some bullshit figures to investors. Give them real, transparent figures. If it's going to take you 2 years to break even, say that. Don't say we'll break even in 6 months when you know you won't be able to do it. Do that. Take the long view. If you are a founder, you're not going to make money overnight. 1 in 100 or 1 in 200 make money fast. The rest have to go through the grind. Go through the grind. It's a learning process. Go through the grind, walk, fall, run. That's going to be the mantra for 2023, not just 2023 and beyond. Consider market conditions. If there is a recession in the market, find a solution that addresses the problems which the recession creates. There are solutions for everything and for every market. Every market is not a bull market, and every market is not a bear market. But both are there, and both can throw out solutions. And for those people who are you've got funded, choose longer vesting schedules, the exit strategies. Tell the VCs, guys, listen, don't exit SOP. We need you. Let them be collaborative. VCs are in a hurry to move out sometime, but don't make that happen. Work around them. Tell them, show them the larger picture, and choose longer vesting schedules for the future. Most important, educate the VCs as well. Educate the funders. They're a great number of people, but not necessarily in your space. So educate them. Tell them why you have a great product. Tell them why you are great for it. Tell them why the combination is what makes the real magic. So I'm going to end up on that now. And if anybody wants to reach out to me, I'm always available to help young companies and take them to a destination where hopefully they create a value impact. So that's me, Raj Kapoor, signing off for now. That's my LinkedIn profile. It's called Indie Block, or you can just search me on that. I'm only on LinkedIn. I am not on any of the other thing. I don't have any work out there. So that's it from my side. And back to you, Praveen.
Thank you so much, sir. I think it is the most powerful session we had, during the last 3 days talk show event, and a lot of learning even for me personally, because I think this comes after a lot of research, and as you have said, you are daily talking to a lot of people, and the veterans of the industry. So I totally agree on these trends. And sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and joining this particular talk show. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday, everybody. And really, all the entrepreneurs, the world is yours. It's yours to seize. There's a saying, carpe diem, seize the moment. And that moment is right now.
What a great message. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.